Good morning, everybody. This is Natalie. I am the Ginger Quilter, and today I'm hopping on live because we are going to make a little ghost buddy today. This is the bonus in the Ginger Quilter box, and you can just sit right there. Maybe he needs that. This is the bonus in the Ginger Quilter box that's coming out. Today is the last day to subscribe and get this bonus kit in your September subscription box. So I thought it'd be fun to make one of these and show you guys how simple he is to make. And you could make 1,000 of these and like line them up on your mantle or put a string in him and have him float from your ceiling. Oops. We lost his broom. Anyway, so there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with this little ghosty guy, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it today. So if you are watching, go ahead and let me know you're here. Say where you're from, say what you're going to be for Halloween, whatever you want. But I'm just going to take a quick second, make sure I can see your comments on my computer over here, and then we're going to get started. It is a cloudy day today where I'm at, which I love. We've had a really cool cloudy week and I'm here for it. Okay, I found the video. I don't want to hear myself. There we go. Okay. Holly wants to know, does the bonus include how to make the vampire version? I did not include how to make the vampire version because in this, everybody voted and loved the witch so much. So that might be a bonus video because it's not hard to do to make the little vampire. I'll go grab that vampire actually. I know right where he is. Give me just a second. I'll show you. Oh, I thought I knew where he was. All right, I found him. So I had everybody vote which one was their favorite between the witch and the vampire. His little tassels are coming up here. And the witch was the consensus. So this is the kit I'm sending out. But you could totally make the vampire. The only thing I did was I made him a little cape right here. And then I gave him some fangs with embroidery floss. So that's the only difference. So you could dress this guy up like anything. And in my pattern, I do have ideas that you could do for like different ways to dress him up. Like a Frankenstein, you could make him out of green and then put some little bolts on his head. Or, I don't know, what are some of the other common Halloween characters? I can't think right now. But anyway, so here's some ideas. This is the one you're going to get, and it will include the hat and the broom. And if you want to make him a cape, I can show you guys how to do that too. So, like the Sinclair dinosaur. Yes, exactly. Just dress him up whenever you want. Or, do you guys know, there's like this subculture of people in the world, and they all have gooses on their porch. And they dress up the gooses. They're like porcelain geese, and they'll dress them up for holidays. Anyway, it's like that. So, do you guys know the porcelain geese people? Are you a porcelain goose person? I want to know. Okay, so let's get started. So, in order to start, I have cut my pattern pieces. These are templates that you're going to get in your kit. So, I've got 6 of these, and then I've got my base. And it's super easy, you guys. So, we're going to take 2 of our little pattern pieces, and I'm going to put them right sides together and sew them together from bottom to top. It's easier to start on the flat edge on the bottom than on the pointy edge on the top. So that's what I'm going to do. Get my right seam allowance here. Got some shifting. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again and do 2 other ones. See, you kind of get a little bit of a domed shape here. So I'm going to do that again with 2 more. Starting on the flat edge. a good thing that my camera is not resting on my table, because the position of my machine right now is shaking my table a lot. So that would have been a little bit of a mess. Okay, so now I have 2 of these little sets. And what I want to do is, I have 2 more singles of this. I'm going to put 1 more single on here and 1 more single on here. We're making 2 sets of 3. So I asked before, but does anybody know what they're going to be for Halloween? I am not typically, I have good intentions every year, I'll say that. Like, I look at Pinterest and see these cute costumes that you can, like, easy costumes or costumes you can do with your kids. And I set out every year and think, yeah, this year I'm going to make a costume or buy a costume. And then Halloween creeps up and I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm just too overwhelmed. So I almost never dress up. But I do have some kitty ears that I have. And funny enough, and that's like my emergency costume when you have to dress up, but you really don't feel like it, or you don't have anything. So you put on a black shirt and some kitty ears and get some eyeliner and do some whiskers. That's my emergency costume. So for my subscription box, the Ginger Quilter Box, 2 years ago maybe for Halloween, I sent everybody some kitty ears as their emergency costume. So if you're like me, you have a backup emergency costume. Okay, so we have a set of 3 here. Now you can see his little body taking shape. This goes so fast, you guys. Let's see, Holly says, I'm thinking of Wednesday Adam for Halloween, but Elsie wants me to be Branch from Trolls because she's going to be Poppy. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. So I have to tell you guys about Trolls. There's a line in the first Trolls movie where Poppy is talking to Branch and she says, solid burn Branch. Anyway, my husband quotes that all the time, but he can't get the name right. He always says solid burn Brent, but it's not. There's no Brent in the movie, and I tell him all the time it's Branch, and he's like, I don't care. This is Brent. So we throw around that phrase a lot. Solid burn Brent in our family. Oh, I love Trolls. That was such a cute movie. That would be a cute costume. I don't know how you're gonna pull that off, but that would be really fun. Okay, we have 2 body pieces here. So you might think we're just gonna sew them together. Not yet. We're gonna mark his eyeballs and put on eyeballs on one of his body pieces now. And I have my eyeballs back here. I put them over here. Okay, so these are little doll eyes. Have you guys ever seen these before? They just look like this, and they are pointy on the back. And so you just pop them through your fabric, and then they have a little stopper right here that holds them on. They're like the easiest thing to use, and they look adorable. So that's what I've used on this guy. Now the ones I'm using right now are smaller than the ones I have on here, but that's fine. You can just do however you want. So I'm going to take a pen. It can be erasable or not. It's going to get covered up by the eyeball. And I'm just going to mark where I want those. I'm trying to think where I did those. You can do them close together. You could do them far apart. I think I might go closer together on these ones because they are small. I think that might be a cute look. Okay, so I just marked with my pen where I want. Now I made a mistake, so I made 2 marks, but that's okay. And I'm just going to take some scissors and slightly snip that fabric right in that little spot. Because then I know, then the eyeballs can go right through. Those little ends pop right through. And then I put the stoppers on and they are good to go. Okay, I got one. So see how I've put that through? It's exactly like an earring. You know, you just pop it through and put it on the back. Okay, got one done. Let's do the second one. Okay, see, we got eyes. Oh my gosh, he's so cute already. I love it. Okay, so now we do want to combine our body pieces. So we're going to do right sides together. And you just want to match that seam right at the top. Make sure that that stays there. So I'm going to pin that so that we get our seams centered. You're just going to pin them around the body. Hi! Jessa's watching. Jessa helps me with some of my business things. Sometimes she does my product listings. She's from the Philippines, so say hi to Jessa. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to pin around his body a little bit. Now, we're not going to just sew around the entire body. We have to leave a spot for where we're going to stuff him full of stuffing. So I can pin him all the way around, but when we sew, well, I guess I'll finish pinning and then I'll show you. Oh, see? This is why pinning's good. I made a mistake. There we go. Okay, we're almost there. One more. Okay, so see how I have him pinned all the way around? So if I sew a complete arch, then I'm not going to have room to stuff him. So I'm going to sew a little bit, then skip and leave an opening, and then sew the rest around. And that it'll make sense why we did that once you're trying to put them all together. But we're going to, so start at one end and just sew around, but make sure you leave a space. Oh, bother. Getting all tripped up here. There we go. If you need to lift up your presser foot a little bit going around that curve, that's okay. That's what I do. And when you hit that bulky spot at the top where all the seams come together, you might need to help feed it through just a little bit, like I need to. There we go, so that it comes out nice and smooth. When you're leaving that space open on the body, on the side of the body, make sure that you backstitch right before and after that space, so that when you're stuffing the fluff inside, that you're not gonna pull those seams apart, because that would be, it just makes more work for you in the end when you have to stitch them back up. Okay, so I stitched all the way around and left a space over here. So I'm gonna flip him right side out. No, I'm not. No, I don't flip him right side out yet. Okay, so keep him inside out, but you can see he's looking pretty ghostly. So now I have my bottom piece. This is fused to a piece of interfacing to make it nice and stiff so that they will stand a little bit flatter. They'll still bulge a little bit on the bottom, but on a flat surface he will stand up, just not on my sewing machine. So now what I want to do is put this circle with the pretty right side inward, so right sides together, and we're going to pin our ghost body all the way around this circle. Now what we want to do is mark the top and the sides of my circle and mark the top and sides of my ghost, so that I know I'm lining up on the quadrants and that we're going to get an even stitch all the way around. You won't get puckers and you won't run out of fabric when you're sewing through that circle. So the best thing to do is just use a marking pen. Erasable is not, or if you don't have erasable, just use a normal pen. Just do it real close to the edge, so that will be taken up in your seam allowance. You won't see it. So I'm going to fold this in half, and right on those folds I'm going to make a little mark on both sides. Then I'm going to match those marks up and make marks on the opposite sides. So I've got perfect quadrants. You guys see? Maybe you can't see my marks, but I've got northeast, southwest all marked on there. Now I need to do the same thing on my little ghost body. So I line them up and I can just flatten them out just like normal. And I've got 2 seams there already, so I already know where those halves are. But if I line up those 2 halves together, those marks, then I'm going to mark the other sides. So I have a perfect, I have it all marked in perfect quarters. And it does help to mark the seams too, just so you know which seams are your marks. Does that make sense? Okay, so now I'm going to take the marks that I made on my ghost and the marks I made on here and pin them to each other. I'm going to find where I'm going here. And you're going to do a lot of pinning to do this. It's going to feel for a minute like maybe you don't have enough fabric, but you do, I promise. Just make sure you're using quarter-inch seam allowances while you're sewing this guy, and you do have enough. So this interfacing is a little bit thick, so just be careful while pinning so you don't stab yourself like I just did. But the pins, they will go through it. You just have to push a little harder. Okay, so I'm going to start by pinning the 4, where's my mark? Oh, there it is. You're going to start by pinning the 4 corners, and then you're going to pin everything inside of those. Okay. I'm on my last corner here. Okay, see how I've got all 4 pinned? So now what I want to do is ease this fabric up around the circle and pin that into place. Okay, and it takes a little bit of finesse and a little bit of stretch. It's okay if you are stretching the cotton a little bit here. When it gets flipped, then it all works out. Just trust me, it all works out. I've made a few of these guys by now. So cute. Hey, my friend Amy's watching. Amy is like the queen of the serger. So if you guys know about serging, or you're interested to know about serging, go over and check out Amy. She is masterful. She also is really good at the scan and cut machines, which are really cool. So thanks for watching, Amy. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're just pinning around. See? Now I've got like this whole circle. I'm halfway done. Now I just have to pin the rest of this right up there to the circle, and then we're going to sew around the circle, and he's almost done. Can you guys believe how fast that went? We're like 20 minutes into this live and we're almost done. So quick. Okay, last one here. I guess last quarter, not my last pin. It does help to have a healthy amount of pins for this project. Okay, this is my last pin, and then we're gonna go. All right, so you see I've got like a full radius of pins here, and my little ghosty is pinned all the way down. I'm just gonna sew at 1/4 inch all the way around. Just be careful of those pins while you're going through. You don't want to snap one and stab yourself in the eye. I do like how fast this base, once you have it pinned really good, the base sewing over this goes so fast, and I love that. So you just inset a circle into your little ghost, your three-dimensional ghost guy, and that is a skill that is intimidating, but you just did it, so good job. It's not as scary as it seems, but I know, particularly if you like sewing stuffed animals, that's a skill that you learn, and that's like the hardest part about sewing stuffed animals, is those circles. And you just did it. I hope I made it simple for you, because it's not scary. Okay, we made it around our circle. All my pins are out. See, that's how he's going to stand. Now, this bottom has this interfacing, and it is quite stiff. So I'm going to snip a few little, I'm going to snip some little triangles just to give it a little bit more give, so that when we flip him inside out, it will be easier for that to fold up. So I'm just cutting little itty bitty triangles here, just every half an inch, not a million of them. If you had pinking shears, you could go over them with that too. I don't have any of those. I feel like I don't need them often enough to like buy myself a pair. Do you guys have pinking shears? They're kind of cool. They make me think of all those scrapbook scissors that were like the thing back when I was a kid. I have a sister who is an amazing scrapbooker. She doesn't do it so much anymore, but she had all the scissors, you guys. But she was also a huge deal. She was like published in magazines. And any scrapbookers watching? I love scrapbooking, but it's not something I do anymore. Okay, so I got those snipped. So now I'm going to flip him inside out. Remember that hole that we left right here? I'm just going to carefully put my fingers through that hole and pull the base through first, and then the rest is just going to follow. It takes a minute. You got to kind of get the corners going. There we go. Here he comes. Don't worry about bending that base. I know it feels like if you bend it, it's going to ruin it. It's not. Okay, so got my little ghosty guy. He's taken shape. So now the only thing we have left to do is to fill him full of fluff and then stitch up his side. So let's do that real quick. I just get this polyfill fiber fill. It's just fluff. That's all it is. You could also, I have done it before, if I have a pillow that I don't want or use anymore, I just cut open the pillow and use that stuff, because why waste it? All right, so I'm just going to carefully stick this through his side. Right there. Just a little bit at a time. That might be too much. Let's see. There we go. He went in okay. And if you want a really, really firm fill, just put more. And if you want a little bit more of a squishy guy, then do it that way. This one I did not fill as much as I normally do. And I feel like he does stand up a little better if you don't fill it quite so full. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my hands up so you can see them. I am still trying to figure out the right configuration of my machine and talking to you guys and the camera. So if you have opinions about that, let me know. Okay, so we're just filling him full. We're getting close. I think I'm almost there. Okay, I think I like that. So here he is. And you want to kind of smush his head around a little bit and make sure the fluff gets in to like fill out his head the way you want it to. Kind of have a cone head spot right here. Let's see if I can fix that. Just kind of mold it and shape it. And I just want a teensy bit more and then I'm done. Okay, so now we're going to stitch up his side and then we're done. And then we can decorate him however we want. So for that, I just use a needle and thread, just right here. And I'm going to do a ladder stitch. Now, I am happy to show you guys how to do a ladder stitch, but this camera configuration is probably not the best. So I can demonstrate that on like an Instagram video, or you can just look it up on Pinterest or YouTube and figure out how to do a ladder stitch. It's nice because, just stabbed myself. It's nice because it makes it so you can't see the stitches when you're sewing up his sides. You can do a basic whip stitch too, but then you'll just see those threads. So I like the ladder stitch. And apparently doing it on camera makes me a little bit clumsier at my ladder stitching. So essentially you just go like through one side a little bit under the fabric, and then you go across and go under the other side of fabric, and then you go across and go under. Anyway, it's pretty easy. Not bad at all. More like a zigzag than a loop, like a whip stitch. Okay, I'm like 2/3 of the way there. He comes together pretty quick. So 2/3 of the way on the stitching. We're like 99% on the way of the whole ghost. So we're almost there. Now remember, this guy, you're going to get this entire kit included if you join the Ginger Quilter Box today. Today is the last day to get this bonus with the little ghost buddy. So don't miss out, because he's going to like make your Halloween decor so cute. This is the fabric that the kit is going to come in, but you're getting the pattern too. Don't use your teeth to cut your thread like I just did. So there he is. Here is your little guy, and you're gonna get the eyeballs. I don't think my eyeballs ended up straight, but let's see if I can fix that. There, that's a little bit better. You're gonna get the eyeballs. You're gonna get the fabric and the interfacing for his base. You're gonna get his hat and his witch's broom, or her witch's broom, right here. And I just tacked that on right there. So I would demonstrate how to attach the hat, except that they're on order right now. They're not quite here yet. So make sure you subscribe today so you don't miss out on this kit. The subscription box is $66 a month. That does include shipping. So you're not going to pay for shipping. It's all included in the price. And I just started shipping to Canada. And I actually had somebody from Sweden request a box too, so I figured out how to ship to Sweden. Holly says it looks so cute. Isn't he fun? He's so cute. I've got like 1,000 of these little guys now that I've been developing the pattern and everything. And then here's our little vampire guy. Don't forget, you can, stitch a smile on here if you want him to have a smile. If you want him to have like the ghosty, like, oh, face, you could do that too. And if you wanted to do a frown, if you wanted like a scary ghost, just make it your own. These are supposed to be fun, and he's gonna fall off. So thanks so much for everyone watching with me today to make our little ghost buddy. Don't miss out on this kit. Make sure you subscribe today. The link is in this, in the live. Let me make sure that's showing. if I know how. Honestly, I haven't figured out this whole Facebook thing yet. Show. Oh, okay. There. That was easy. Okay. So there's a link down below to just subscribe, and it's also in like every post I've made this week. So don't miss out. Make sure you get your little ghosty kit, and I will talk to you guys soon. Please let me know if you have any questions and send them to me in the DMs. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.